Hey, hi all. You know, so often we're told the rapture is in the Bible. That statement in itself is simply not true. If you go and look, the word is not there. So we're told that the word harpazo is in the Bible, and the Latin rapio or rapturo is the word that is used, and therefore the word rapture is in the Bible. Let's look at that, okay? Paul also uses the word gather when he says we're gathered unto him in 2 Thessalonians 2:1. So we are gathered unto him. The word gather is a verb, and if we were to take the Greek or the Latin word for gather and then from that extrapolate a noun and call it, let's say, the gathering, does that mean that we can create another return of Christ? Of course not. That's an absurd idea. The same is of the verb harpazo. So harpazo is used as a verb 13 times in the New Testament. And it always means taken by force. So Philip, yes, he was taken by force, and he was translated from one place on earth to another place on earth. When we're caught up, taken by force, indeed, that is harpazo. Paul was taken by force by the Romans and taken to Rome. He was harpazo. So often the word harpazo is used in the term for thievery, how the thieves take by force. So when you get to the word in Latin, the rapturo, rapio, the first word that was translated to English from this Latin word was rape, and that was in circa about 1400. Later in 1600, the word rapture was taken from the same Latin word. So it first meant kidnapped and raped, taken by force. It wasn't until later in the 1800s that it was switched from a verb to a noun, because Darby needed terms to separate what Paul calls the resurrection of the dead. You see that in 1 Corinthians 15, verse 42. You know, the passage doesn't start with verse 51, as so often we're told by those who tried to say that Paul is speaking of a new event, of the rapture, when he says that he reveals a mystery. No, read the passage in context. Paul is speaking of the resurrection of the dead. That's the name of the event. That's what he calls it. The rapture is a verb. It's not, in English, it has been changed to a noun. So the reason it's changed to a noun is to create another event. So does the Word of God show separation? If you use the terminology that the Word of God uses, such as the resurrection of the dead, you see that the resurrection of the dead does not happen until the heavens are destroyed, as Job 14:12 tells us. Jesus himself states, "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. And of that day, no man knows the day or the hour." Excuse me. So, why are we constantly lied to and told that no man knows the day of the hour of the rapture? Unless, of course, that event that's not listed in the Word of God, but the event of the resurrection of the dead, it happens when the heavens are destroyed. 2 Peter 2:10 tells us that Jesus comes as a thief in the night when the heavens are destroyed with a great noise. So if he comes when the heavens are destroyed with a great noise as a thief, A rapture 7 years prior would create a countdown, eliminating the fact that Jesus comes as a thief in the night when the heavens are destroyed with a great noise. Revelation 20 verse 4 and 5 tells us that those who are martyred for not taking the mark of the beast are resurrected at the first resurrection. It mentions the word first. So when we're told that rapture is in the Bible, the whole purpose of putting rapture into the Bible is to create another return of Christ that doesn't exist in the Word of God. The resurrection of the dead includes those who are martyred for not taking the mark of the beast. All right. Hope this is helpful. Take care. God bless.